There we go. Sorry, I did a lot of recording this week, so I guess I'm just subconsciously hitting the other button. All right, we're here live. Hello, everybody. I don't know why I turned into the queen.
Hello.
Why, hello there. Welcome to our dainty little game. It's called Crimson Throne. We like not dying and making other people die.
That is preferable, yes.
So, welcome back, everyone. I'm sorry. I know it's been 2 weeks since our last game. I had a birthday celebration where I got older and more decrepit, and then was not feeling well last week. So, but here we are again on our own. Excuse me. I am multitasking as I'm also trying to tweet this out. But last session was a hell of a session. You guys defeated Rolth in what I think, personally, probably our most epic fight to this date. It was pretty touch and go there for a little while. No?
It was shocking. I'm fascinated and pleased by how well we did.
So many people went down.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Everybody got to flex their level 4 spells. It was great.
So
Ross got stuck to the ceiling like a spider.
Some of you were like that punchy clown where it goes down and goes up and goes down and goes up. Good times.
You can name names, okay? I get it.
But at the end of the day, you were standing, and Rolth, a character that means quite a lot to a few of you, not like in that special way, probably in that opposite special way.
I was going to say, there's definitely something special about the relationship, just not in the way most would prefer.
You don't mean shit to me.
He is dead. And one of you, I forget which, actually. Oh gosh, I don't remember who it was that made the perception check. I think it may have been Rhea. It was a Ross. It was a Ross. Ross, as she was getting up, noticed what looked to be like a little floating eyeball that was up towards the dome of the ceiling disappear. Looked as if it was watching the proceedings. And that's where we ended the session. Rolth, unconscious on the floor. 3 flesh golems torn to pieces. Because pretty much that's how you kill them. You can't just stab it and expect it to go down. You kind of have to completely dismember them.
Well, clarification. Is he dead or is he unconscious?
No, he is dead.
Okay, you said unconscious.
He was shot in the head. So, pretty dead.
Yeah, I really wanted to make sure on that one.
Yeah, no.
He'll walk it off.
Non-lethal bullet to the head damage. It's actually a nice, pretty cinematic scene for that death. It's just got hit by the guardian who Rolth didn't realize was there or was busy. You know, like when you look in the other way and run right into a tree. And then got shot in the head and fell down.
And actually, wasn't it Cressida that allowed Ross the teamwork feat option?
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
So I'm sure Cressida was saw what Ross was doing and had it lined up and said now and
yeah. And
teamwork.
And that is where we ended last session. So I'm gonna pick up seconds after the death of Rolth. We're out of combat. What are you guys doing?
We immediately cast Sacred Flame.
I will fucking murder you.
Laura has been threatening me for 2 weeks about that.
I threatened you once.
Once.
Several times in a row.
Yeah, continuously for 2 weeks.
But yeah, no, don't fucking do that.
Oh my god, look at all
was
these
casting.
notes that are on fire.
Oh god.
But yeah, if anyone wants to like revive Amelia, that would be
I'm
splendid.
coming. Yeah, anybody who's barfing up blood, please come.
Oh,
to
that's
me.
right. Yeah, Amelia got her life drained to death. To
Yeah,
unconsciousness.
Okay.
To unconsciousness.
Okay, how about we do this? Everybody huddle, and we all just kind of like chill for like 10 minutes while Mary does her thing.
You could all huddle and chill for half an hour if you want and
Ross
take a short
is gonna
rest.
just start grab a health potion, common health potion.
Well, I have prayer of healing, so
Well,
yeah.
but we need to at least stabilize Amelia so she doesn't bleed to death.
Oh, by the way,
I
I
have cantrips for that.
I should point out for our
Okay.
viewers, unfortunately, Sib is using her phone tonight. Her computer is on strike. It said something about seize the means of production and then shut down. So we're working on that.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty harsh. But, so, thanks for joining us, at least on your phone, Sib. Oh, no.
That was a really strong response.
The phone got her too.
She just realized what her computer's up to. So yeah, so what are you guys doing?
Okay,
I
sorry.
ain't got time to wait, so I'm gonna go ahead and just lay on hands for Amelia.
Okay, all right.
Well, I mean,
You can do the
extra
prayer of healing, but I'd like her to be
necessary
up.
anyway. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. There's nothing else down here that could possibly be a threat.
Well, I was gonna stabilize her because I have spare the dying, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't get her
ahead.
up. That just makes her not need to roll death saves.
Maybe that's what Mary's going for. Just let her lie there for a while.
She's
a
had
nap.
a long day.
So have the rest
Do you
of us.
know
Shut
how
the
much
fuck up.
rest this woman gets? None. This
I
is
need
the
to-
longest sleep she's had in weeks.
This is my only chance to cast Sacred Flame.
I know, quickly while she's unconscious. Burn the tag.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Muiri, if Bria wants to do lay on hands on Amelia, Muiri will start casting Prayer of Healing at level 3. So in 10 minutes you'll get 3d8 plus 7.
Yeah, I think like Freya has like one hand against the wall and like her hood's really pulled over her face and she's like slowly like walking over there and is just gonna fall over on the floor. Just give like a thumbs up, like I'll be up in a few minutes.
Yeah, Muiri will tend to the very, very wounded, and I guess I can dispel my spiritual weapon now. I don't think I'll need that.
Shala rushes over to Freya and attempts to help her get back up, and then being just as wounded, eventually settles for both of you kind of sitting propped against the wall. Like you get there at least, and then she's done. She's got nothing left.
Freya's she's gone, like lights out. She'll just wait a bit. Her eyes are closed. She's not here.
Is everybody gonna wait in peace for 10 minutes?
Did Shala just lay on hands, Amelia?
That was supposed to be Azria, but it's
She's
fine.
full of surprises, that bard.
Magical secrets. Take a paladin picture.
No, for her magical secret, she summoned Allosaurus.
Anyway, Ria
She
pulls
get more
out her
magical
violin.
secrets.
I'm sorry, what? Say what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, right. No, I'm with you. So, you guys take 10 minutes. Do you guys want to take another 20 minutes and do a short rest, or just the 10 minutes?
I think we can do a short rest.
Well, I'm healing you anyways, so.
I mean, the place is quiet.
I'm okay with doing a short rest, but my character, she's probably passed out. She's just asleep. You guys wake her up when we're ready to move.
That's like the definition of a short rest.
Yeah.
So you guys take a short rest. Go ahead and roll whatever hit point dice you have left, if any. Regain.
So you'll get 19 plus. Oh fuck. 9, I think. 7. 7
plus
It's
an extra 2, 4, 6.
Well, no, because I have a
no,
feature.
7 plus 6, right?
It's whatever Weary's additional is plus Ria's additional thing to that.
Oh, I see. So you're 5 plus the level of the spell. What level was the spell? 3?
3.
So plus 8. So 19 plus 8 is 27.
And then plus an extra 6.
So 33. You all gain 33 hit points back.
But it also the life cleric thing is 2 plus the spell level. So it's actually an additional 2 on that.
Wait, 2 plus, so it's not 5 plus the spell level? It's not her wisdom modifier?
Because when you use Cure Wounds or something, Weary, it's the 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier plus 2 plus the spell level. Because that's the life cleric feature.
I see. So 2 more onto that. So 35 total.
So, yeah, 35. And then there's also the paladin thing. We have a really supportive group, guys.
And then I get extra because any spells I cast heal myself automatically.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Well,
Amelia's doing a little dance in the corner.
Yeah.
No, that's Annika.
That's Annika.
Stop rotating.
Rolf is dead. Yes, time to dance.
The 30 minutes Rolf's brains have just slowly been leaking towards the fountain in the middle.
Oh my.
So we'll
Am
say
I conscious yet? Or
yes, you're conscious. You're conscious.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah. In that case, she's going to be rummaging around in Rolf's pockets.
Oh, that's just disrespectful.
He can suck a dick. Actually, no, he can't because he's dead.
And he has no head anymore.
I mean, technically he does. It just has an extra hole, too.
I mean,
here's what you find on Rolf's body. 6 black onyx statues.
Can I make sure somebody's writing this down? Because I'm not.
Oh, give me access to like the donkey or something, whatever the character sheet's called.
One of those should be hidden, but that's fine. You guys got enough people here with identify. I'll just give you that one. A belt of mighty constitution plus 2.
Woo!
Wrapped around his waist. Extensive. Well, I'll get to those last. Fine mortician's tools. A magic scroll. Magical cloak. You know what? You guys just did a good boss fight. I'm going to throw you guys a bone. Let's just say during this time you guys cast Identify. How's that? How about I be a nice GM?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah? You guys want that? So, give me a second here.
Oh, hey, look. He has the wand of magic missiles. What a crazy coincidence.
Where did it go? The thing for his items that he had just disappeared for me.
Did it? Here, let me reshare it.
Yeah, for me.
There you go. Is it back?
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, he's a spell fuck. Oh.
I'm just gonna have you guys identify all these. Now, I'm not going to do this every time. Usually you're going to have to go through the work, but you guys just went through a hell of a battle. I'm not going to then make you sit there and go, all right, now what's this one?
Unguent of Timelessness. Huh. Interesting.
So, you find a, +1 dagger. So, a scroll of teleport, 6 black onyx statues, which are probably worth some decent money. A belt of mighty constitution adds 2 to your constitution score. I believe one of you is already wearing that. One of those. Fine mortician's tools, which are used for embalming and preparing of corpses. A scroll of teleport, a cloak of resistance +1, which oh, hang on. I didn't actually change that over to the 5th edition one. Give me a second here. Let me find out what a 5th edition Cloak of Resistance is. Sorry, remember, I convert everything, and sometimes I
think the Cloak of Resistance... Well, I know the Cloak of Protection's +1 AC and +1 to saving throws, so I assume Resistance is just +1 to saving throws.
Yes, I agree. So that's this, and I think one of you already has something like that. So it's a +1 to all your saving throws. You have an Urgent of Timelessness. It allows you to, let me read it for you. When applied to any matter that was once alive, such as wood, paper, or a dead body, this ointment allows the substance to resist the passage of time. Each year of actual time affects the substance as if only a day had passed. The coated object gains +1 resistance bonus on all saving throws. The unguent never wears off, although it may be magically removed by dispelling effect, for instance. One flask contains enough material to coat 8 medium or smaller objects, as a large object counts as 2 medium objects, and a huge object counts as 4 medium objects. So, you can preserve something that would normally decay. You know, like that perfect slab of steak. You have Rolf's spellbook, which, perusing through it, you would find the following. Well, you can actually open it up and see the following spells. You know what? Actually, no. Scratch that, because those are all probably Pathfinder spells. Let me pull you up. Because honestly, it would just be a copy of what Rolf knew how to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More or less. So let me pull up Rolf real quick. And tell you what, Freya, since you're the one that would be most interested in that, I will get with you on what those spells are.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be right now. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I will get you a list of those. And actually, you know what? I bet you I could just do. No, I can't share. I can't share them. That's fine. Any case, yeah. And then last but not least, on his person, you find a rolled up set of parchments that have the most detailed set of notes on the blood veil that you have seen yet. It details its inception. It is notes written in Rolf's hand, which Amelia would be very familiar with, or Ross would probably have seen a few times at least. It talks about Ross's brother, how he found this plague accidentally, or at least the base of this plague. Ross's brother found a very deadly sickness within rats and was working on a cure for the sickness because he feared that one day it might become an epidemic. And Rolf took these samples and used them as the basis for Bloodveil. This means a couple of things, Ross, that you would know immediately.
Okay.
Not only is Roth just an absolute asshole, your brother's book has now just become immensely more valuable. Your brother's book talks about this sickness in great detail. And to find out that the blood veil's based off of this sickness helps immensely. This, given with Rolf's notes and the other notes you've picked up, roll me a 1d4, Ross.
So that's a little hard for me to do.
How about I roll it for you?
That would be awesome.
It would take you about 1 day to make a cure for the blood veil.
Nice.
Well, that's good.
You
that
would need
makes it a lot.
You would need a laboratory, but gee whiz, I wonder where a laboratory specifically set up to find cures and diseases would be. Oh, right, 30 feet that direction.
Yeah.
You need about a day, about 8 hours of work using these notes, knowing now that your brother's book, the sickness that he talked about in great detail, is the basis of the blood veil. It now makes sense. All of it starts clicking with you. The Venetians have some sort of natural immunity to it. Not all of them, maybe 1 in 20. And utilizing the blood of the Venetians that's already there, which is maybe a little distasteful. I don't know how Ross would feel about it. It's like this is blood that has been gained in definitely not the best of circumstances, but you can now use this to create and mass produce cures. It would take you a day not only to produce the cure for it, but to produce easily understandable notes that you could distribute how you wish, but you could distribute throughout physicians throughout the town, where if they can get enough volunteers of Venetians to donate small amounts of blood, they can mass produce the cure in probably you have to crunch the numbers a little bit, but if you distribute this stuff quickly, you could create enough cure to inoculate most of the town in a couple of weeks. Certainly the more devastating areas in a few days.
Okay. Well, that's a big relief.
Yeah, that's kind of huge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of work.
In addition, the notes talk about a side project of Rolf's. He's vague on it. And he even says in his notes that he can't be too detailed in his own diary, for there are always eyes around. But his notes do detail that he thinks Andiason may be suspecting Rolf's ulterior motives, and that his own project is nearing completion, and there are notes about discussing how to draw 7 acolytes away from the main group in order to complete the ritual.
Ah, boy. Okay, so we need to do something with this room, because it has something to do with it.
Well, Freya, from what you know earlier, when you walked into this room, you felt the remnants of an unfathomable amount of magic. But it was the remnants. It has dissipated quickly with every round of combat. There is only the faintest wisps now of transmutation magic.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
As far as the ring of protection, is that the ring that was Annika's, or is that a different ring?
The ring of protection is Annika's ring.
Okay, gotcha.
It is the small white gold ring with beautiful engraving on it. Amelia, not only does this ring add +1 to your AC, but if you specifically wear it, Annika now has 15 hit points. As when you slip it on and attune to it, Annika becomes more full. And what I mean by that is her lower half begins to assemble underneath her. She still floats in that very creepy way, but with the ring, her endurance is vastly improved. But it does take attunement.
All right. Well, I guess Amelia will be taking that then. I could just drag it and drop it into my inventory. Is that right?
Yep.
And like I said, it is also a +1 to your AC.
Boop.
Because I realized that 15 hit points still isn't a lot. It's enough to maybe take a hit or two, maybe, depending on what that is.
Kind of.
But given that familiars usually have like 2 hit points,
yeah,
I think that might actually, maybe with exception to the imp, be the most hit points of a familiar I know.
Oh, certainly, yeah. But most familiars also aren't dead ghost sisters, so.
True.
Yeah, most familiars aren't a whole ass or half-ass person.
I think the Ring of Protection also gives you +1 to saving throws, in addition to the AC jump. So you might want to look into that.
Not this one. This one is only a +1 to AC. Correct.
Okay. Shit. I figured out how to toggle on mage armor, and now I don't remember how to change it. Shit.
Do you mean you still have it on in the turn order?
No, I have it toggled on in my actual character sheet.
I mean, next to your AC on the main page, there's like a magnifying glass looking thing. You can click on that.
I just there we go. Okay, yep. And then, so does this automatically count towards my no, it doesn't. Okay, so then I would have to add it in miscellaneous. So just plop that in there. Okay, there we go. I now officially have 15 AC. Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, no. Annika has 15 AC. You have a lot more than 15 AC.
No, I have
AC, not HP.
Oh, never mind.
HP.
I don't know how to D&D. Leave me alone. Hey, 15 AC, Annika has 15 HP. There's symmetry there.
I mean, if you want me to have 44 AC, I'm not going to fight you on that.
I'm just going to have you do nothing but charisma saves.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that character should be really good at charisma saves.
What? Have you met Amelia?
I mean, technically she has a +3.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me. I don't feel like Freya should be. I think Shala should. That makes sense. Rhea should. I don't think anyone else at the party really should be that good at them.
Yeah.
Aside from Amelia, I mean.
But in any case, that is what you find on Rolth. What do you guys want to do? You still have well, a cursory glance at the flesh golems will probably tell you there's not much of value there unless you want like dead meat and tubes. Yeah. Not a whole lot there. The acolytes themselves, other than the fact that they are wearing purple robes, have no items of value on them. Except for fairly ceremonial daggers. And what I mean by fairly ceremonial is they are certainly the type of daggers that you would think are more for looks than for function. Next to them that they use to kill themselves. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Mary, I believe your spiritual weapon is gone.
That's fine.
Oh. So, you guys still have a couple of Leku demons in the other room. You still have a giant vat of blood veil in another room. What would you guys like to do?
Get the fuck out of here.
At this point, Amelia is going to turn to Cressida and go, do we have permission to burn this place to the ground?
She looks around. It's mostly stone. How exactly do you intend to do that?
There's plenty of way to build kindling.
At that point, Mary will cast. She will cast
Hold my
Sacred
beer.
Flame on the flesh golems.
Got you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to say that again?
I said Muriel will cast Hold My Beer.
Yeah.
Cressida just said that there's no way to burn this place down.
Yeah, I know, and that's why she as she's saying that, Muriel will cast Sacred Flame on the flesh golems and just one by one burning the acolytes.
Understood. Well, 3 of them. 4 of them are already burnt to a crisp by Amelia's fireball.
That's fine. Good job.
But yes, you proceed to start burning them, and Cressida says, I am absolutely all for She kind of shakes her head. Yes, if you have a way of tearing this place down that won't cause the buildings above it to fall in, absolutely. This is a vile place.
I mean, technically I still have a 3rd level slot available.
Freya will stand up a bit, kind of getting herself together. She looks a little groggy because she kind of just left a bit going to sleep, but she'll say, before we destroy this place, if we do that, don't you think we should make use of the facilities? I don't agree with the practices here, but there's no place in this town that knows the Blood Veil better than this.
I mean,
Weary will sigh and say, the quicker we can get a cure mass-produced, the better, even if it means using this.
Then you can? Cressida looks a little uncertain. You can make a cure. You're certain.
with the information we've collected today and everything, we might be able to. Just a few days.
That's wonderful. What do you need from me? Our resources are very depleted, but whatever we have is at your disposal.
Well, I think most of the stuff we need is just the equipment upstairs, but it would probably be really helpful to get some real law and order, and not those Queen's physicians.
Freya kind of looks over Cressida as well and says, also, maybe spreading the message. If we're going to make a cure, we'll need to find a way to distribute it. And I don't think we'll be capable of that alone.
Cressida nods. Crimson Guard has taken a lot of losses the past few weeks, but we can still do that. Make your cure. I'll find doctors, real doctors, to distribute it. What else do you need? I mean, the notes, they said something about Varisians?
Well, it says that we can use some of the properties found in the Varisians' blood.
Basically, so let me explain it. The way the notes explain it, it's a lot like making an anti-venom.
Okay.
Because I'm sure everyone knows how they make anti-venom, but basically what they do is they'll use something like a cow or a horse to and have it inject it with a very small amount of venom, and that cow or horse will over time create antibodies, and then you take the cow or horse's blood and separate the antibodies, and then boom, you have antivenom. Think along those lines. There's something in Varisian blood that helps fight this, and if you can get enough donors to donate blood, you can use blood as the catalyst to mass produce it. Without Varisian blood, you're not going to do this quickly.
Okay. So there's something in Varisian's blood that can help us, but maybe if we can get enough people to volunteer.
Right. That would take facilities. You work on the cure. I'll get that ready for you, somehow. And she stands up, stretches, starts putting her weapons away.
Weary will stand up as well. I'm afraid I am of no use in a laboratory setting. Cressida, if you need extra hands, and it sounds like you do, I will go with you.
She nods.
Well, what about those things in the glass tube out there? Should we maybe...
Cressida, like, stares for a moment. Oh, right. Forgot about them. And she, like, draws her sword back out, like super, like, oh, God, I thought I was, like, done with work.
You should at least proceed with caution.
Well, if you're planning on burning the place to the ground, that would be an excellent place to start.
Wait. A bit longer, please. We still need this place. But
what are we
going to
use?
Disturbing.
Well, let's first see if they're even still there. Perhaps, by grace of some gods, they are gone.
By the way, real quick, bro, did Cressida get her 30-something points of... Nope. Okay, then.
No, I just fixed it. I had noticed that, actually, as you were bringing that up.
What about you, Russ?
No, I
pretty sure. Here, I'll just remove that.
Just, like,
that's right. That's
done.
right. All right. Everyone is fully healed.
Awesome.
Which means you're absolutely fine. I mean, you're 100%. Minus a couple dozen spells. All right, let me go ahead and share this with you guys.
Before we leave, I wanted to ask one thing. About the fountain and the statue in the middle. Is there anything of significance? Like something that actually pops out, like means something to her about the statue?
No. The statue itself is broken. It looks like it was well, roll me a religion check. Let's see if you know what it was.
Oh. I'm really good
Should
at
those of us who have...
Yes, anyone who has a proficiency in religion.
Okay.
So then, should I roll a religion check? Because I don't have proficiency. But I did want to look.
Just roll me an intelligence check then.
Okay.
And your DC will be higher. All right. Murray, you would know that statue it's broken and kind of crumbling now. But it was a statue that has the personification of Ugathor.
Wonderful. I get the feeling this is not the last time we're going to see her.
What makes you say that?
Oh, call it a hunch.
Ugathor is standing right behind Rhea.
Uh-huh. As we are getting ready to kill the demons that are the personification of pestilence.
All right, I put you all back on the other map.
In a very weird place, too.
It's not my fault. I mean, it is. It's 100% my fault. But yes, but no. So, Cressida pulls out her sword and goes, "How do we do this?"
We could always try to see if heating up, the fluid can make it kind of like a, what is it, the frog in the hot pot? Never jumps out, gets boiled alive.
Shala looks at Ross. Does that happen?
Yeah, Amelia kind of looks over at her like, what the fuck?
You guys have never heard that?
Who would boil a frog?
Okay. It's an old...
Freya just kind of looks down off to the side with a kind of anxious look.
Freya boiled the frog.
Yeah, like Freya, like scratching off favorite food list, frog legs.
Well, I mean, I guess, but I'm sure she's seen all sorts of things.
Oh yeah, in the academy.
Yeah, the academy. I'm sure they do stuff like that all the time.
They give no Fs. Very true. And Cressa would go, okay, so boil him alive. I mean, it's worth a shot, I guess. I don't know. Didn't you say something about a drill too? She just like shakes her head. I don't.
Upstairs or clerics, whatever.
The Church of Abadar?
I think they left, right?
You don't know. You guys haven't been upstairs in days. Well, not days, 2 days.
So technically multiple days, yes.
Yeah.
I in that case, Amelia will go up to the elevator, I guess.
For all you know, Rolth went up to an empty building. Hello. All right. We can do this a bit narratively.
Rolth?
Not Rolth. Ruin. Yeah.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Like, wait a fucking
all those
second.
R's. We used to have V's as the weird name. Now it's R's. This book is brought to you by the letter R. Book 1 was brought to you by the letter V.
Is it going to be like each book has a certain letter?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just wait till you get to the letter G.
Is it like reverse alphabetic order? Sorry.
So here's what I will say. Consider time not much of an issue now. The ruins are clearly empty. And you are definitely aware by now that there are no other exits. So, you guys can sit there for a bit and choose what you want to do. If it requires getting outside help, that is certainly available to you. It is up to you how you wish to proceed. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Well, like I said, Amelia's gonna go over to the elevator and see if anyone's actually like still upstairs.
So you go upstairs and you definitely see that there are definitely clerics of Abadar still up there. Many of the patients were too weak to be moved safely, and they are being attended to still there. The priests have done what they can to clean the place up because the doctors did not care about cleanliness for obvious reasons. So the room is quite a bit cleaner, and there are currently 5 priests, including your friend, whose name I will have to find real quick.
I'm guessing not my friend because I have no idea who you're talking about.
Well, a friend of the parties, the priest of Abadar you've been dealing with for some time.
What's his face? Oh, and just to preface this,
Ishani Daritri.
Gotcha. But yeah, just to preface this, Annika has been put away, I guess.
Gotcha.
For fear of freaking out everyone.
Which she is apt to do.
But yeah, I guess she's going to go over to someone and ask if any of them are able to help produce a prolonged flame. Or just fireballs.
I am sorry, our talents are more in the divine area. I believe fireballs are more of the arcane.
Oh, call Tim.
You say that like I've got a fucking cell phone.
You know what I've got is 2 level 3 spells and the ability to use sending.
I have a horse.
Tim Ronies comes over.
You would have to summon it, Rhea. Don't act like you just have it.
I've been dying to use.
I mean, I have a bunch of wood downstairs and the tools to build a fire.
Yeah, but also let's leave those intact for now.
Well, also it might be worth it to have like an experienced spellcaster look at the fountain and see if he knows anything about it.
I thought you were going to be like, yeah, but also that's so mundane. Just wood.
Well, also, like, they said that they have abilities in the divine. She's going to let them know that they're essentially, like, she's going to quietly let them know, away from some of the patients, that there are, would you say Liuku, like, the whatever
Don't tell them that. They're already freaked out enough. We're going to take care of it.
You're not there.
I know, I'm just protesting loudly.
But yeah, they're entirely contained. We just need to get rid of them.
I see. Well, that would probably require some form of banishment. There are a few more skilled in our order that could do such a thing.
Would you be able to contact them, or are they out of reach?
I absolutely could. There's just... This seems like such a petty thing, but they will request
a matter of
payment.
Of course.
Oh, you can't... Well, Moiri also has a church. BTW. That doesn't charge money.
Yeah, you have 2 branches. One with an elder who is actually very skilled. One with like a 17-year-old.
Jesus.
Saren Ray's not really...
One cleric.
Yeah, Saren Ray's not really a very popular deity in Korvosa. Korvosa is not the most righteous of towns.
I guess she's going to get a quote from what's-his-face, and then...
He will say this, given the direness of the situation and what is going on, they would be willing to... Give me a second here. Let me take a look here at what this would require.
The other thing I would say...
I can give you a 10% discount.
If Amelia's wanting to hire people to cast this banishment spell, Freya, she's seen Freya cast banishment. Freya knows that spell. So, I mean,
yeah, but isn't that like a 3rd level spell or something?
4th.
It's 4th, but I mean, Freya could still... She can't cast it right now, don't get me wrong, but the other people would have to take time to get here anyway.
Like, save against it, technically.
Yeah.
They could save against a cleric casting it as well.
Yeah, but the more people that have the ability to cast it, like, I'm just saying. But yeah, once she gets like a quote on how much it'll be, she's gonna, I guess, walkie-talkie the information back to Aras.
Yeah, a second.
You think they can save? You doubt Freya's ability as a wizard.
He would say there are 3 of them. 300 gold apiece, and I will personally ensure they do not stop until they are banished. And I'm so sorry.
Well, I guess she will radio back 900 gold, and they will work until they're gone. And she's going to add, mind you, this is the discounted price.
Ooh, for that much money, I'll just strangle him myself.
Mori's just like, that's food in my children's bellies. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, fuck you.
I want to know how much it is without discount.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know because then I'm going to be mad.
Yeah,
305.
Oh, hang on. No. My bad. There actually are some rules for this. I was just kind of spitballing it here.
It's gonna be a lot more.
Okay, well, it's the level squared. No, it won't be. Level squared times 10. Plus twice the consumed materials.
I can't math.
I'll do it. That's actually a lot better for
160, because 4 squared 16 times 10, 160, and then the materials.
And the materials aren't really, there aren't any really materials listed, so just add 10% on that. So
yeah.
So I would say 170 per. So I was overcharging you guys actually.
Damn,
and
Which is in character.
And no, not for this guy. For the Church of Abadar, certainly, but this guy actually is a just diamond in the rough as far as he's concerned. 100 per, so 300 gold. It's like a 33% discount.
All right, so apparently that's the price she's going to be radioing back.
Which Ross will convey.
Huh, I thought magic was more expensive.
Have you been also overcharging us for magic items?
Nope. Nope. I've been charging you exactly as a DM is never overcharging or undercharging. He charges precisely what he means to.
All right.
Suspicious squinting.
Although
Which
actually,
is why I've been Yep.
To be fair, he's probably making them cost less than they're written to cost because the actual normal costs are insane. Like, ridiculous. I think like a ring of resistance normally, as in like the DMG is like what, 12,000 gold or something?
Normally the magical items aren't for sale, and if they are, they're for ridiculous prices. But in my campaigns, what's the point of D&D if you can't buy a little magic, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I actually follow, in case anyone who's watching is curious, there's actually a PDF called Sane Magical Prices that I use as a guideline. Obviously, the market shifts, but those are a good guideline. I think those are fairly fair.
That's good to know.
Affordable magic items? In this economy?
Slaps magic store.
My goodness.
So 300 gold, yay or nay, or is Miri strangling them herself?
Jesus.
300 is fine. That's reasonable.
All right, I guess we'll radio Amelia.
Actually, the way this happens in character is first Amelia's talking to a church priest, and he's like, 900 gold for the three of them. And then Ishani goes over and says, no, brother, you must clearly be mistaken. I'm so sorry, Amelia. It must have been a very hard day. He's like staring daggers at him. 300 gold, and we will ensure they are gone.
This other guy's probably just like, stepping on my pitch, man.
You're
He's like, damn, man, I could have cut of that.
I gotta make quotas. What are you doing?
What's the guy's name again? It's
Ishani Darichi.
Gotcha. She would look over at Ishani and kind of nod her head and say, thank you.
Of course.
Ross probably carries that much gold in her fucking bag, right?
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
No.
Yes, Ross does, since she doesn't have a bank account yet.
Yep. So yeah, she'll just like wave him down and goes, the money is down here along with the demons.
I am a little sad though you guys didn't just get Tim Roney, and I'm sure there's like tons of things he'd like to try out.
Oh god, I'm sure.
So we will say again, yes, go ahead.
Before we do fucking destroy these things, I would like to try and grab some samples of just a bottle full of the liquids, because he said that like this was like liquid nutrition or some shit like that, right? I'm sure he would be very interested in it.
It mentioned it smelled medicinal too.
Yeah,
it has the ability to contain.
It smelled medicinal.
Pestilence.
Mm-hmm. That's all you know is that it smells medicinal. Without samples, you don't know anymore.
All right. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing. These things are tricky to open. Like basically the trick is you don't know if opening them would trigger them or not. But on the bright side, The Ishani would assure you that the banishment wouldn't actually banish any of the liquid inside, just the creatures. So you could just wait until after.
Perfect. All right.
They'll just dump them back in their plane, very unceremoniously.
Be gone. All right. But yeah, I guess she will be leading whoever's going to be doing that down to where they are.
And since we're handling things kind of narratively, we'll say other things will happen during this time, of course, whatever the group chooses to do. But just to handle one thing at a time, high-level priests of Abadar are quickly found, brought down to the temple. They seem incredibly disturbed by what they see, obviously. And they make their way past all the I believe Muri went around destroying all the undead in that room that was like behind the glass in the exhibits.
Yeah, she made a point to try and destroy as many undead as possible, so they're not gonna like spring back up.
They would wear protection against the vats of blood veil, and make their way to the room. Each priest would kneel in front of each of the glass capsules. And during which time, of course, they remain completely unmoving except for their eyes that slowly follow what's going on. And they cast banishment. 2 cast it, and the first time they cast it, the Leaku demons disappear with a small whoosh as liquid fills the void that they occupied. 3rd one cast it again. Cast it a 3rd time and it disappears. And like he kind of sweats his brow a little bit and okay. And there are no more Leaku demons. They have all been banished back to their plane. You are at that point able to open up any of the devices and grab a sample of the liquid. I would need someone with a medicine skill to roll a DC to see if they could identify what the liquid is or does.
Do you want that to be me?
It can be anyone. Like I said, we're kind of narrative here, so the time is wibbly wobbly. Timey-wimey.
So you're a bonus to medicine.
+8.
Okay, yeah, you can.
Okay. You can tell that it's a very strange concoction. It's probably not safe for humanoid people, given how potent it is. It seems to be a form of acid mixed with strong sedatives. Your best guess is that this liquid is what was keeping them sedated. Which means that it's very likely, had you, say, drilled a hole and let the liquid out, it would have caused them to become active.
Okay.
Well, that's good. We didn't do that.
So, the Leaku demons are taken care of. What next, my young adventurers?
If there are no more persistent threats in the temple, then Weary will probably prompt Cressida to make sure that they have enough people to get this cure in motion.
Yeah, Cressida would have taken her leave very early on, once you figured out what you were going to do with the Leaku demons.
Okay.
To
as soon as they're banished and gone, Weary will follow.
Will what?
Murray will follow her back to the...
gotcha. Understood. So Murray and Cressida go back to the surface. Murray, roll me a charisma check at advantage, please.
A charisma check at advantage.
This is just so you know, in case you want to flavor this or add anything to it, this is basically Murray going to the separate temples of Sarenrae and gathering support and help and things of that nature to get things prepared and ready in case Ross makes the cure. 16. You do pretty well, actually. Well, hang on. Is it just a natural 16? Is there? I guess you have no advantage on your charisma, do you?
Yeah, I have no bonuses.
All right,
charisma,
but still, you do pretty well. Maybe necessity is the mother of creativity. You are able to work with the Crimson Guard to secure a place to act as a lab of sorts. It's an empty warehouse somewhere nearby. It was deemed probably shouldn't be using the Blessed Maiden, given that underneath it is a Temple of the Undead and disease. But you're able to quickly... No, actually, it makes far more sense. The larger Temple of Sarenrae, where you normally go to pray, is what's actually set up as the, if you would call it, a donor and excavation site. And with the help of the Crimson Guard, you are able to find plenty of Venetian volunteers, mainly out of desperation, because their friends and family are dying too. And with some impassioned pleading on your part, you are able to convince quite a few of them that they have the ability to save everyone in the city. So by the time Aras is done, assuming she succeeds, there will be everything they need, donation-wise and doctor-wise, to mass produce the cure.
You're welcome. I am curious, and I'm not sure if I want to get meta on this level, but do I see Van Casterkin?
No, you do not see him at all up on top. You have no idea where he is.
I would then Weary would ask Cressida, because I know that his family had been having problems with the Blood Veil.
Cressida says that Van Casterkin is back at the Citadel. With her gone, she has left some of her more trustworthy soldiers behind. And she'll confide in Weary that despite obvious rough patches, Van Casterkin has, in a very short time, made great headway in regaining trust.
Okay.
And she'll even make a quip or a comment about must be something with Murray's dinners.
Murray will laugh and tell her that as soon as this is over, she'll be making a very, very good dinner.
She's going to hold you to that. One thing you do notice, though, Murray, as you are working with Cressida on this, the Crimson Guard has taken a significant number of losses. Keeping order in the city has lost some lives, but more importantly, many of the Crimson Guard, too proud or perhaps duty-bound to take away what little magical healing there is from others, have succumbed to the Blood Veil themselves, refusing healing. And the numbers of the Crimson Guard have taken a significant portion, maybe up to 20% of their total force has lost their lives. Yeah, this is a devastating plague.
Okay. To that end, Muri may go to the Citadel and let those know there, because I mean, as soon as word of a cure gets out, they're probably going to be mobbed with people, and they're probably going to need like as many people on deck as possible.
Oh no, they're all well aware. I mean, like, this is what you're learning by talking to Cressida and other Crimson Guard members. Like, this is something that the Crimson Guard are deeply aware of.
Of the cure?
No. You were saying inform the Citadel of the losses?
No, she was going to go to the Citadel and inform the Crimson Guard there that, hey, there's a cure on the way.
Oh, yeah. No, that was probably the first thing Cressida did. So, but yeah, you would be going with her. So yes, you guys would certainly, and that would certainly cheer a lot of people up, because there are obviously many, many more Crimson Guards that are sick, but haven't succumbed yet. So now we're down to 2 issues. There are the vats of Bloodveil, and I don't know, something about a cure. The last part's optional.
And the basement party gets to deal with that.
I think we were just gonna set a fire under the vats, right?
Yeah,
I feel like we should maybe.
I do want to point out, you are in a semi-enclosed underground where
I didn't say we had to stay here for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we should like wait to be done with this so we don't choke ourselves.
Majenko sits on the edge and just breathes fire for hours upon hours.
Oh, buddy.
No, yes, you did determine earlier there's enough wood, especially if you break up some of the furniture in here, to set fires underneath the cauldrons, and that if you can get them to boil for an hour or more, the heat would be enough to render the plague inert. To use science talk.
I'm sure there's some kind of like ventilation system, so
No, it's an underground temple. I mean, it's not airproof, but it's also not built for large bonfires. So when you do this, it's going to get pretty smoky.
That's fair. It's better than moving it anywhere.
Yeah, now I want to be clear. It's not like it's going to suffocate anyone, but it's definitely not going to be the most comfortable place to be for the next day or 2.
It's not like the fire has to be that big either. It can be pretty small, just continuous to continually heat it up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying, like, by the time it's done, you have plenty of furniture. You can do it, and I assume that is what method you guys are going with. You don't have any issues doing it. It's just like for the next day or so, you know, depending on when you choose to do this, it's gonna be like walking into a bar full of smokers. You're just like, oh, whoa, wow.
That's fine.
All right. And in after about an hour or 2 of the fire going, you're fairly confident that the virus has been boiled into submission. And now there's only one little thing. It's more like a side quest, really. The cure. I don't know if you guys are really into that or not.
You know, I don't know. That's a little sciencey for me.
I'm good. I'll pass.
Big on it.
Ross, what is your medicine skill?
So it should be a. What's the base? What's it based
on? Wisdom, I believe.
Oh, so +4.
All right. Could you? I guess I will do it for you. I'm going to roll a wisdom. I'm sorry, a medicine check at advantage for you. What? Oh no. So 18. You rolled an 18, which is more than enough, given all the notes you had. Would have been harder if you had less notes. Would have been easier if you had other notes. So, it takes about a day, Aras, and your brother's notes were invaluable. And I don't know if Aras reflects upon this or not, that in some big way, your brother was always looking for a way to help people. And even though it may have come after his death and cost him everything, without your brother's work, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that Corvosa could have died.
Cool. Let's also not forget that with those notes, I mean, it was based off of his initial plague, right?
Who? What?
The
Blood veil was based off
Blood
of the
veil.
plague that your brother found and studied.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
he didn't make it. He's not insane like Rolth is. He found it and extensively studied it.
Yeah. Okay.
But without those notes, without your brother's book, without his work on that plague, you would not have a cure. Not quickly. Not in time to save Corvosa.
Okay.
But within a day, you create the first few batches, enough to inoculate about 20 people, and of course enough to start producing in mass quantities. And the nice part about it is, because you actually rolled pretty decently, it's just a small little drink, little vial. You drink it down, you'll feel better within 24 hours.
Good, like super potent cough syrup.
Yeah.
Probably tastes nasty.
Probably not the best. You want to give it 3 days, you might be able to get cherry flavored.
No, it's okay.
So with the cure made, the virus destroyed, the Laicree demons gone, is there anything else you guys want to do down here before returning to the surface?
I'm good for down here.
I'm pretty good for down there.
All right, well, that's 2. So obviously that's a majority. I will move everyone to the surface. Ross, I'm sure it can be inferred that you take the cure to the hospital of sorts that Murray and Cressida have set up.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the Heights, so you take it to the Temple of Sarenrae, where mass protection begins, and I'm going to pull things out just a little further. Before I do, is there any interactions or anything anyone would want to do this first, say, 2 days? Obviously, you all rest. You all get a long rest. Even Aras finds some time to sleep. But before I continue more expansively to tell you the effects of what happened, I want to know if there's anything anyone want to do during the first 2 days. Yes, Murray.
Sorry, I was muted. Weary. I just had to take a break to grab something to drink.
Sure.
So this may have already been said. Weary would want to contact Miss Yellow Eyes.
Contact who?
The were-rat, Miss Yellow Eyes. I don't remember her first name.
Eris.
Eris. Yeah,
Yes.
that's her name.
Yes. I was going to say jaundice, but that's the name of the disease, not the person.
Yeah.
Silly squee.
different.
Yeah, don't address people by their diseases. That's not polite. With sending or just like reach out to her?
Probably sending at first, just to say, would you be willing to meet with me?
Of course. And she'll tell you of a spot in the sewers where you both were at, like when she led you down in the sewers over in the Five Corners area.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I don't know at what point this would probably take place, like probably before the cure has been distributed. So while Aras is still working or whatever, she would tell Eris, "You told me that the were-rats are not well looked upon, and that the blood veil has considerably hurt their standing, considering many people believe them to be carriers of disease. Correct?"
Yes, it has been very unpleasant for us.
I would like to extend you an offer that I believe might help. There is a cure on the horizon. On the next dawn, I do believe. And I think it might help your image if were-rats were seen helping distribute the cure, especially to those who cannot seek it out themselves.
I see.
It is merely a thought.
Roll me a charisma check with advantage. I'll give you advantage because it's a clever idea. She goes, it's possible, definitely. It would take a bit of effort, I think. Many of us are scattered, hiding, and many of us would have to revert. Obviously, we can't run around as, well, in our other form. That would probably get us killed. But I'm curious, Murray, if we did this, and I'm not saying that we can't, how would anyone know it was us that did it? We can't just walk up to someone and say, "Hi, I'm a were-rat, here's your cure."
Perhaps not the average layman, but I think you'll find that in the crowd of those who are involved with this cure, you will find, members of the Crimson Guard and multiple churches, and those who would be able to understand your secrets.
Then I'll make you a deal, Murray. I will gather those I can, and we will distribute your cure. But you get these temples and Crimson Guard to tell people it was us. Afterwards, not during. I cannot risk any more of my people. But afterwards, tell them, spread the word that it was us, and we will do this.
If you are willing to put action behind your words and make it truth, then I see no reason why not.
Simply tell me where to be and when.
She will give her the information about wherever
the temple is.
Yeah.
And she'll say, "I know it well. There is a passageway nearby. There is, behind your temple, a small shed." And she'll describe like a shed that I'm sure we've seen like a dozen times.
Mm-hmm.
Inside is a passageway to the sewers. She says, "Meet her down there when the cure is ready."
We will do so.
Okay. So, anybody else? By the way, clever thinking. I like that.
If no one else is gonna do anything,
you can go first.
You can go ahead. I can wait. I still gotta find my notes on this way.
Ross is first gonna ask for that letter back from Worry.
Done and done. You can have it.
Days go by. Yeah, that's all she's gonna do for right now until after she has the cure and everything.
Yeah, you can have it. It's already on Murray's timeline.
Yeah, you have a deadline to meet, so.
No, I mean on her Facebook timeline. She's already posted it.
Oh. You really think Murray would be a Facebook mom?
But all right, so you get the letter back, safe and sound. Did Murray read it?
No.
All right. So you get it back sealed or folded. I'm not sure how a Ross, like, I don't know if a Ross is the type to like wax and seal it, but certainly not unopened.
Well, considering she wrote it while hanging from the top of the building, I mean, that's what she was doing the whole time.
You could seal it with wax if you were really dedicated.
You know, it might be. I mean...
All right, but yes, you get the letter back. And again, we'll also have plenty of time for interactions, but I just during this 2 days, anything else?
Yeah. Not during those 2 days while the cure is being made.
All right. And while Ria's looking for her notes, Freya, what about you?
You're muted, Rin.
Alrighty then. Ria?
Okay. So, let me make sure this is the page. Yes, it is. Okay. So, like the day after we get out of the temple, I'm gonna approach Shala because, of course.
You just stop there. Just, of course.
Of course. And Ria will sort of walk up, like messing with the ring that Shala gave her.
Mm-hmm.
And attempt to make small talk.
Shala is in high spirits, actually. Higher spirits than you've seen in quite some time. She's more than happy to engage in small talk.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this then. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the mentality of I just survived something incredibly dangerous and did something really good for people, and I'm kind of riding that high. You know, like I'm alive, you're alive, everyone's alive, kind of thing.
Right. I feel like maybe I should say one of these things and save the other one for when she's not on top of the world.
I don't know.
But
if you're gonna knock someone down, might as well start when they're high up instead of already low. But that's just me.
I don't want to ruin her moment.
Well, this is over the course of 2 days, so
yeah,
it's up to you. I'm just saying.
So, messing with the ring. The warding bond.
The what?
The spell that you...
Oh, right. That has a name. I'm sorry, I sometimes forget that I'm not the first one to come up with these spells.
So obviously it is new to you, then.
Yes. My magic, it's like a living thing, Ria. I don't study or make pacts with gods. I play music, and when I play music, I think about things. And I guess that recently my mind has been on protecting. Well, and sometimes I find that that manifests itself in my abilities.
Right. One thing I do know is that the spell requires a set of rings to be worn by either person.
Oh, you, right. And she looks at your ring.
If this is new to you, I suppose I'm curious as to where you got them. Or when.
I've always had them. My family, we travel a lot, and well, once in a while there are people, perhaps people that enjoy what we do, or people that we care about, and we have these rings that we give out on rare occasions that mean that well, it means that they are to be treated special by the Valentine family. And she's like, this whole time she's looking down at the ground, and she's like, I thought it would be fitting to use that.
Special how?
She looks up at you. It means that the family is to treat you well, not be rude or unkind or, well, anything like that.
I of course mean no offense, but is that typically a thing your family does?
Well, roll me a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Hopefully that high charisma comes in handy.
Hopefully. Oh, snippity snap. Well, my family can sometimes be less than kind to certain people. This ring will show them that you are off limits.
I see.
Rhea,
Yes.
I know we haven't been together very long, and I know that the time we have spent together has been... Well, we've been through a lot, haven't we?
We have.
I care about you, Rhea, more deeply than anyone I've ever cared for, and I need to know right now if I'm alone. That feeling.
You're not.
And you see her eyes widen, and her face goes through a range of emotions. Surprise, happiness, and then sadness. She goes, then The worst thing I could possibly do would be to be dishonest with you. Rhea, I have a secret, a terrible secret, and I'm afraid that if I tell you, you're going to look at me differently. But I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to say that I care about you and then lie to you, so Rhea, my family, the Valentines, they are assassins. All of us, trained from birth, we are the best. That ring on your hand protects you as a target if ever one were to be placed upon you. A contract was put out on our friends, on Weary and Amelia and Russ. A contract, I know not by who, but they paid a lot of money. I was sent to spy on them, to gather information, to, when the time was right, to set them up. I didn't expect them to be they are, for you to be you. I never wanted it. I never wanted to be an assassin. Sometimes we're born into a life that we can't choose. I did what I had to. I'm so sorry, Rhea.
And she kind of just shakes her head for a moment. You... An assassin?
The Valentines. That vampire. Do you remember he told me he once was a guest of honor at one of my family's shows?
I do.
That is a code that very few know. It means that my family once tried to take him out. And if he survived one of my family's shows, it means that he is very powerful indeed. We do not fail. I keep saying we. See, that's just it, Rhea. My whole life, I thought family meant being trained to be a monster, being punished when you mess up, locked in a room or beaten until you got it right. I thought that was family. I never knew until I met Miri and Ross and see how they treat each other and how they can bicker with each other without getting hit. How they treat the children. I never knew. And then I met you. And I realized that I wasn't like my family. I am not like them. So I stopped giving them information on everyone. They haven't heard from me in some time, and I know that sooner or later they will come looking, and when they do, my life is forfeit. That's why that ring doesn't matter. I'd much rather give my life up protecting you than what waits for me.
So, that's what you meant when you said that the end was coming for you.
And that's why I asked you to send me away that night. If you drove me away, maybe I could run. It's not your fault. That's unfair. I suppose I just am not strong enough to leave this. And she kind of just motions all around. So I came to the decision that I'd rather live whatever time I have left standing next to you, standing behind Weary, than to try and run and make it on my own. And I know that's unfair. But I don't think I'm strong enough to leave.
Are you strong enough to stay?
I'm going to die, Rhea. Until that happens, I don't want to be alone. I want to make music. I want to make people smile as much as I can, for as long as I can. And I want to do that next to you.
Then you'll do that. But I promise you, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you stay alive.
She looks up at you, and you see tears running down her face. It won't be enough. Not against them. And she smiles, but it's okay. You wear the ring. It won't touch you. I suppose I'll have to tell the others too. I don't think they'll be as understanding as you.
Maybe not, but I'll be there with you when you do. If you would have me.
Shala just smiles sadly and embraces you. Plate armor and all.
It's not plate.
True.
It's only
enough.
splint.
I just gotta imagine hugging in that kind of armor's gotta be awkward.
Probably.
So, every day, make it count. Might be some time before they come looking, and they will have to find me. I stopped giving them information some time ago. Oh, we might have a while.
Well, until then, I suppose we'll make it count.
Rhea.
Yes.
It's right to tell them who I am and what I did, and to accept whatever they deem fitting. But don't tell. I'm worried. They'll try to protect me. I don't want their deaths on my hands. But they have to understand, all of them. They're not just coming for me. I'm rambling. I don't ramble. This is new. Let's at least wait until the cure is done. I have enough to worry about.
This is yours to tell. I'll follow your lead.
She nods. And Shala and Rhea, I assume, walk down the road hand in hand.
Yeah, boy.
Sorry, Sib. She rolled a pretty damn high persuasion check.
Damn it. Ross bursts in with her gun drawn. Who are you? Tell me really.
Who are you? Like shaking her. Who are you?
Damn, charisma-based classes.
You guys can't see the other chat. I'm getting threatened right now.
Oh no, high key, I will riot.
So we're going to narratively pull out a couple of a little bit further. In 2 days after, so 3 days total, enough cure is produced to start distributing it. Muri, you make your way down to where Eris told you and find 200 people waiting.
Oh shit, okay.
They, over the course of the next week, are remarkably effective. They know ways around the city that get past all the blockades, all the, well, except for Old Corvosa, but even then, somehow the cure manages to make its way to Old Corvosa. As where rats have been.
If Muri has to cross that bridge again, she will.
No, Muri doesn't have to. It would have been an issue, but where rats have been making their way around the city for years. They know ways. And due to your alliance, shall we say, in 1 week's time, the most virulent outbreaks have been treated, and the rest of the city is getting treated. And you get to the point where deaths are uncommon and quickly going away. In 2 weeks' time, the Blood Veil is all but eradicated from Corvosa. Now, before we go into a bit of downtime, I want to explain something here. I've been keeping track of a lot of stuff. Decisions you guys have made, successes and failures and breakthroughs and whatnot that you have done during this entire book. And a lot of things that you have or have not done have contributed to the overall death toll of how many people have died in Corvosa, in realistic ways. Determining, for example, where the plague came from, that Endynison was a part of it, being able to direct people's efforts, even things like utilizing Chrysida and the Crimson Guard to help make a cure, and utilizing the were-rats to spread the cure, have all contributed to this. I'm not going to go list by list every decision. I might do that at a later time with you guys, but I'm not going to take the whole session to do it. But overall, in a city of... Hang on, actually. Let me find. I want to see what the percentage of this is. I don't actually have the full number. I'm going to look it up real quick. Oh, okay. What is that? I want to see what that number is. Okay. So, in a city with a population of about 18,000 people, there were a total of 3,657 deaths due to blood veil. 20% of the population of Korvosa was wiped out by this plague. And I'm here to tell you as a GM, it could have been so much worse. Still, these numbers, while devastating, are not shattering. And what I mean by that is the city will slowly start to heal. Everyone suffered, of course. 3,600 people is an immense amount. 20%, 1/5 of the population of Korvosa succumbed to this plague. But given that this was a plague designed, while you don't know what the full intentions were, but designed to wipe out thousands upon thousands of people, this plague could have turned this town into a wasteland. And you are all largely responsible for it. Now, before we get into downtime, because I'm going to move ahead 3 weeks, 21 days. But a couple of things I want to note that you notice during these 21 days, so that it can inform whatever interactions you guys have during this time. Okay? During the 21 days, during these 3 weeks, the city slowly starts to recover and lick its wounds. People begin to gather and mourn their losses. The attitude of the town is somber, but becomes hopeful. 2 things, or 3 things of note. First, after about 2 weeks, rumors spread through the town like wildfire that were-rats were responsible for delivering the cure. Helped in no small part by the Crimson Guard and I'll explain this in a bit, you guys. Assuming you do tell people that it was were-rats that helped spread the cure.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And the reason why I say you guys is because somehow, while none of you are exactly sure exactly how all of this came to light, but Aras, Freya, Rhea, Wiri, and Amelia, and Shala are known by name throughout the entire city as saviors, responsible for finding the cure and destroying a temple of Ugathor. Somehow, the story has gotten out. And Wiri, every morning you find gifts outside the orphanage door. Food, thank you letters, well wishes. Whenever you go outside, people recognize you and ask you questions. Was it really the were-rats? Did they really help spread the cure? Are you really Aras? Not everywhere, of course. This isn't, the world of social media where everyone knows your face, but enough that you are recognizable. And the third thing is that public opinion of Queen Iosa has also risen immensely. As the Grey Maidens, though very harsh in their tactics, actually did a lot to keep peace and order. And Queen Iosa is also... There are rumors being spread that the champions, the saviors of Korvosa, did so at the grace of the Queen. And so you start to hear "Praise be the Queen" on many people's lips. So, these are the things in the world around you that you notice over the course of the next 3 weeks. And with that, I do have stuff, very big things that I will get into at the end of those 3 weeks. But during those 3 weeks, I would like to know what the group would do. But before we get there, I think we have a very important conversation to have with Shala and the rest of the group.
No, it's not necessary.
Yeah, no, because that's the first thing Ross is going to do after she's finished with the cure. So.
Right, and I'm going to let you take the lead on that one. Because I think Shala, whatever her intentions may be, it's like the child who knows they have to go tell their parents that they broke something, but it's not, they don't rush up at the first opportunity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to let you take the lead on that. We'll say that the cure has been spread. Everyone's resting, say, back at the orphanage. And Ross, I'll let you approach this how you will. I will say this though, and Rhea, let me know if this is untrue, but I'm pretty sure you're going to find the two of them together 99.9% of the time.
Probably.
So are they like all kind of lovey-dovey cutesy, or?
I leave that in Rhea's hands.
Oh God. Maybe.
Yeah, like I think I kind of imagine with those two personalities in public around other people, maybe they hold hands, or maybe they're obviously affectionate, but they're not like playing kiss face in front of people. They'd probably find other secluded places for that kind of thing. So
Okay.
It would be obvious that they're sweet on each other, but it's not like they're being gratuitous about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then Ross would wait to try and find a time where it's just Shala alone.
All right. Roll me a perception check.
5 years later.
I'm just saying, would that be like possible? I can't exactly roll.
It depends on how vigilant you are. You'd probably have to wait a day or two, I'm sure, but yes, like
you're gonna corner her when she's coming out of the bathroom.
Like I was gonna say, you've got to do that. There's got to be moments where they are alone. I will say, That's why I'll roll the perception check for you. What's your? Because here's the thing: do you catch her when she on one of those rare moments? What's your perception?
I don't know.
All right, that's fine. I'll look it up.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Your
computer totally crashed. I actually don't know how I'm gonna recover the drive. So. Oh. Woohoo! That'll be fun for tomorrow.
Too bad it didn't do that while I was there. I could have.
Yeah.
You have a +1 to perception. How about that?
More than I thought.
No. It seems every time you try, Rhea is like 5 steps away. And it kind of makes sense too, from Rhea's point of view, given what she's been told.
Mm-hmm. Okay, after I guess maybe a day or two of trying, then Aras will go up and ask her and just be like, Shala, I need to speak with you. Preferably in a more secluded area, not around the kids.
Oh. Right, of course. Well, Rhea and I go up to the roof a lot. I've seen you up there. How about there?
Sure.
And
that's fine.
Shala starts to go up. Aras, I assume you follow.
Yes.
Where's Rhea going?
I mean, if she's not asked to go along and it doesn't seem like, because I would assume that maybe by this point Rhea would understand a little bit, like if Shala's uncomfortable or something. So if there wasn't like a sense of that, then she would back off.
Roll me an insight check.
Oh boy. Where is my insight? There it is.
Aras?
Yes.
Are you attempting to hide the importance of this conversation? Like, are you trying to act casual or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be casual and just, hey, I wanted to speak with you a minute, not in front of, the kids.
I would say, I don't think this is going to matter either way, but you could make that a performance or a deception check, up to you.
Deception?
Or performance. You're acting casual. You're trying to put people at their ease.
Yeah, I'd still go with deception.
Sure.
Just because.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that would be a bit more. What is your? Hang on, let me check. By the way, I'm letting you know. Rhea rolled a 24, so yeah, we'll see. Let's see. You could, even if you get a nat 20. No. Rhea, it is clear that Shala doesn't seem nervous by it. Not too much. She's maybe a little surprised, a little curious. Aras looks like she's trying to keep things casual, maybe a little too hard. She seems a little too laid back for Aras.
Right. So I'll go ahead then and wait until they go, and then I will because they're going up to the roof, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So I'll go. I think like people were able to hear, like when they were down on the ladder or something.
If you're like on the balcony underneath the ladder, sure.
Yeah, so she'll stick around there and try and keep an ear out in case.
Roll me just roll me a perception check, just so I can have that as a baseline.
Gotcha.
You definitely hear the gun go off. No. Okay, so Rhea does not follow you guys up to the roof. Aras, for the moment, you are alone with Shala.
How are you doing? How are you holding up? Things have been pretty crazy around here.
Yes, they have. I'm doing great. I'm doing really well. I'm honest, a little surprised we survived. I'm glad that everyone did. And it looks like the cure you made is working marvelously.
Yeah, I noticed how much help you were when we were down there, and went out of your way and put yourself at risk.
I don't know if I was that much help, but I couldn't just let you guys go down there alone.
Well, I mean, you could have.
Yes. Suppose I could have. But
I know that I don't know why you're here or why you're hanging around with us. I mean, come on. You said that you were looking for stories and adventure, but I mean, you don't risk your life for that. What's really going on? What are you not telling us?
All right. Shala, my dear Shala, it is time to see how you react under massive pressure. Let's see. What kind of skill check would this be? I don't think this would be a skill check at all. I think this would be like a saving throw.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Constitution, probably.
No, I'm thinking wisdom because it's more of a mental, like, oh shit moment. You know what I mean? It's not like can she hold her stomach. It's more like can she.
Oh, I was thinking, is she going to immediately burst into tears?
No. This is something else. Nope.
Oh no.
Ross, you see an amazing transformation. When you say all that, her eyes grow wider and wider, and her pupils constrict more and more. And Shala proceeds to have a full-blown panic attack on the roof. She starts having trouble breathing. She sits down, and you see that she is sobbing uncontrolled. Rhea, I think that'd be safe to say you'd hear that.
I'm going up then.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that Constitution might have been better, but still, either way, she failed. You see Rhea climbing the ladder.
Yep, and I will kind of back up and be like, it's okay. It's fine. She just kind of started getting really upset.
Rhea, I can't.
Rhea will run over to her and hug her. It's okay. What? And she'll glare at Ross.
Poor Ross.
What happened?
I just asked what's really going on. I mean, it doesn't make sense that a bard would just risk their lives for what?
Shala is gripping on to Rhea now and burying her face. I assume Rhea's not wearing her armor in the orphanage.
No.
Yeah, so burying her face into Rhea.
When that Arconis guy, the vampire or whatever his name guy dude mentioned her family, it just got me thinking. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, hang on. Give me a second. Oh, this breaks my heart. You mentioned the family. Shala starts wailing.
That's +4.
Oh! Shala doesn't start wailing. Hey, look at that. Look at the calming effect of Rhea. Shala starts controlling her sobbing and her breathing slowly. I think think now's the time. Ross?
Yeah?
I will tell you what you want to know. We should get the others.
We can do that. You okay?
Oh. And she stands up and starts heading down the ladder.
I didn't think she would get that upset. I just asked what was going on.
I just follow right after Shala.
Okay.
Maria, Shala is going to her things and she begins packing. And she'll look at you and she'll quietly say, just in case. The worst thing I want is to have to pack when everyone's staring at me. And she kind of tries to laugh.
You're not leaving. And if you are, it's not by yourself.
I know. Thank you. And she'll finish packing up. She'll leave it where it is. Everyone else, you notice that Shala, who's clearly got a tear-streaked face, is packing things up and putting them down. Ross, what are you doing at this time?
Can I ask someone to real quickly bring me up to speed? I had to leave for something really important.
Oh,
I'm back.
No, this is perfect. Everything you've missed are things that Freya wouldn't know anyway.
Oh, okay, good. I come back and I hear crying. I'm like, what?
Oh,
what
you've missed so much, but nothing Freya didn't miss. So you'll know very, very soon.
Okay.
Oh, Ross, are you like gathering people together, or?
I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I feel so bad for Ross right now.
I was trying to be nice, and I was trying to ask her politely away from other people in case there was other stuff going on, and she could have left if she needed to, and then nobody would have been risk or injury.
Instead, you made her cry.
And I think Ross is kind of just saying this as she's, coming down the stairs.
We've got a sad bard and an angry paladin.
And a very confused artificer because she has no clue what's going on.
I just picture Ross is like Milton from Office Space. And then I took her alone. I thought that maybe I would talk to her alone, and then she just started crying, and I don't know why. So yeah, the rest of you see this very odd scene taking place. And then when Shala is done, she stands up, squeezes Ria's hand, steps forward in a very loud and clear voice. Gosh darn it, I am making poor Shala roll so much tonight. Where is your...
I just want to throw out that Ria is ready to, physically throw herself in front of Shala if need be.
So...
it's worth saying that when Muiri knows that there's something going on.
Sure.
And
she's been a mom a long time.
Yeah, and she'll give Shala a quick hug and say, "We are ready to listen when you are ready to talk."
Well, her +10 in performance has saved her. Shala stands up in a clear... I mean, she's a freaking bard. Stands up in a clear, calm voice and says, "Everyone, I'd like to talk to you all. Mary should not be discussed in front of the children.
Very well. We can go upstairs.
Thank you.
Out of curiosity, are we at the warehouse still or
Yep.
at the orphanage?
No. Not only is Old Corvosa, well, actually,
Still under quarantine.
It's still under quarantine. That quarantine has not been lifted.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Does this time include me, or?
Yep.
Like, am I at the warehouse?
Yes. Everyone is there.
Can real quick, that gets me up to what happened to the lab? Did we destroy it?
Yeah. So you destroyed the Blood Veil. The temple itself hasn't been destroyed because, I'll be honest with you, none of you have the power to destroy an entire stone temple.
Right, that makes sense.
But
no earthquakes.
The Blood
Veil
sounds
like a challenge.
Yeah, I know. That's why Miri was like, "Hold my beer." The virus was destroyed, boiled to inertness. Aras made a really good roll in making the cure, made it in a day, and was able to make it in a drinkable format, so it's very easy to take. They started mass producing it, and within 2 days, using 200 were-rats who took human form, the cure started being passed around. Within a week, the most virulent outbreaks of the plague had been treated, and by the end of 2 weeks, there were no more deaths. We are in the middle of that. We're taking a 3-week kind of downtime, which I will get into what everyone does during that 3-week downtime, but we've got to discuss some things first, obviously. But I did let everyone know that I have been keeping track since the start of book 2 of a lot of things. There's a whole list of decisions you've made, avenues you've pursued versus not pursued, missions you've completed versus not completed, decisions you've made that have contributed or helped, mostly helped actually, on your guys' part, to your credit, the death count. And of the 18,000 some odd citizens of Corvosa, 20%, 3,600, give or take, people succumbed to the Blood Veil. And that number could have been much worse. So, devastating numbers, but numbers that the city can recover from, most certainly. Got it? Sweet.
That definitely helps, yes.
Yes. What do you do with the kids?
Oh no, she was going to take the group upstairs.
Oh, that's right, she was. What about Anna? She's staying with the kids, going upstairs?
That's her decision, honestly.
She'll probably stay with the kids. Actually, she'll actually want to, because she's been spending a lot of time donating her blood.
And Mary, of course, has been fussing over her.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She's probably fussing over her more because there were other Varisians who were not lucky enough to have protection.
Right. So she stays with the kids. Everyone goes up to the roof, and Shala still in performance mode, and it's very clear the way she's walking, the way she's talking, and she's by necessity treating this as if it's a performance, using her clear bard speaking voice. She goes, I have not been honest with all of you, and we have been through too much for me to keep lying. So, I have something to tell all of you. And when I am done, hate me, I will understand. If you ask me to go, I will understand. Or if you feel that I should be, well, I would understand that too. Some weeks ago, about a week before I met you, actually, I left my family for the first time. Traveled abroad alone. I told you all this, but not the reason why. My family, Valentines, are world-famous bards. Yes, but that is not their true occupation. That is simply a cover. My family are some of the best trained assassins in the world. To hire a Valentine is to assure the death of your target. That is what is spoken in many circles. I was raised from birth to be an assassin through my music and my song. And she looks down at her blade. Other means. Some weeks ago, a contract and a lot of money was given to my family to assassinate you three. And she points to Muri. Well, no, sorry. She would point to Muri and Amelia, and she would say, and one other, a half-elf by the name of Arlen. But I don't know, I suppose you parted ways with her, or you've never really spoken of her.
Who hired you?
I don't know. Mother would, I suppose, but you don't ask. I was to take a test to determine if I was ready to enter the family business. Please understand. I never wanted to be an assassin. It never made me happy, but it was all I knew. Then I met you all. I was told to meet you, to have you take me in. Mary, I am so sorry. It's no coincidence I had no place to go at the banquet. I was ordered to learn everything I could about you and report back to my family, and when the time came, to deliver you into whatever trap they assumed appropriate. At first, I was the dutiful daughter. I did my part. But you, all of you, are so unlike anything I expected. I didn't realize what... To me, the word family means something very different than it means to you. Aras, you bicker with Miri all the time. I could never even imagine that. The freedom, the trust you must share in each other. And then, well, she looks at Rhea. There were other things I learned too. I came to the decision that I could not help anyone destroy you. So I stopped reporting to my family. They haven't heard from me in weeks. So there it is. I am an assassin, sent to lead you to your deaths, and I have lied to you all.
So, just to ask, I assume there would be repercussions for you not reporting back, yes?
Yes. The Valentines cannot risk their secrets getting out. As the world knows them, they are bards, and only bards. The vampire, Archminos. Do you remember what he said? That he was a special guest at one of my family's performances?
Mm-hmm.
I assume he was contractor?
It means that my family once set up a trap to assassinate him. And if he survived it, Weary, please understand, I know why you did what you did, but if he survived my family, he is devastatingly powerful. Please be careful. I know you have no reason to trust me, but please be careful with him. But yes, Freya, sooner or later my family will deal with their unruly child. That is not your problem. I've caused enough problems for you.
Well, it's surely a shocking revelation, but your world's really not that much different than mine. I mean, the horrors, I guess. Coming from a place shrouded in such academic interest, pursuit of these sometimes flimsy ideals, perfection, things that we don't have the right to control, leads to monstrous acts, things that people simply ignore. I'm not going to compare a wizard directly to an assassin, but their ambitions can reach the same heights. So, I think what I'm trying to say is, if you think you're really scary to us, and that we're not going to accept you because of that, you don't have that much to worry about.
Scary? No. No, I don't want to be scary.
That's what I mean, though, is that you're not.
I don't think I ever was a very good assassin. No. I'm trying to say that I'm sorry. I gave them...
At this point, Moiri will stand up, and she'll dust herself off, and she'll walk up to Shala, and she'll pull her into a hug. She'll say, "Oh, child."
Well,
what they have
apology or not, don't we have more forward thoughts to address?
Shala manages to hold it together. How about that?
I mean, you're wanting to leave or something, but I don't imagine the people here are going to let that happen.
She kind of like looks over Murray's shoulder at Freya. I just assumed that you would ask me to go.
I don't have any right to say something like that. I don't have anywhere to go myself.
But
I think I know better than most when I did. That often, blindly, children will follow in their parents' footsteps. And that often, parents will treat their children. I am sorry for what has happened to you. Truly, I am sorry.
I'm sorry too. I told them things, Murray, things about you. I wish that
like
I had
what?
not. Most mundane things, most people think, are the most important. What she cooks, how early she gets up, how she treats the children, how she treats those around her, what she likes, what she cannot stand. They seem small, I promise you. They are anything but.
And what's your family? What will they be like when they come looking for you? Will they be targeted? Will they just take out anybody who happens to be nearby?
No, they don't like. They don't like to. It would be targeted for us. They don't like to kill people not involved. It is too risky. But they also. You have to understand, and she'll kind of break away from Weary. They are best in the world, and they enjoy what they do. You might think that it would come at night and you'd never see it coming. And while, if everything goes their way, they will put you in a situation where you cannot resist them. But you will see them, and you will know what's about to happen. They enjoy that. I cannot stop them from coming after you.
Well, I mean, they're going to be after us whether you're here or not, right?
Yes.
And they're going to be after you whether you're here or not.
Yes.
So, what I was trying to stress earlier has only become a stronger thought now. Instead of thinking about how to make a farewell address, why aren't we thinking about how to address, I suppose, our future assassins?
I think
Because
it bears no.
Because it's not just us, Freya. There's a whole bunch of kids downstairs.
Right. But they wouldn't attack us while we're here.
They may.
She just said as much.
But they would do everything they can not to hurt the children.
We will hold up a hand. I think it bears noting that we have faced threats before. I understand that your family is dangerous, Charlotte, and thank you for your warning. But in this, I think we should stand together. That, after all, is what family does. I will offer you an invitation, and it is one you can accept, or it is one you can decline. You have a place at this table, child. You have a room in this house, and they are yours, if you would like them.
There's a few moments of silence, and then, oh, Miri. And Shala embraces Miri and bursts into tears. I'm sorry.
I know, child.
And the next several minutes, as far as Shala is concerned, are taken up with uncontrollable weeping.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, while she's having her tender moment with Mary, Freya would probably just kind of walk a little bit closer to Ross and just start whispering because they were talking. But she'd continue though, and she'd say, I know there's children, but regardless, they're not going to be touched. In fact, I think what's more likely, they would want us somewhere isolated. So, we are already planning on heading out of town eventually. Deal with Celestina. But if we're anticipating something like this, perhaps we could use that to our advantage. I mean, if we know they're coming, there won't really be any element of surprise.
I mean, that's great. We know that they're coming, but not when or where or... I mean, I guess maybe who. More than we knew before.
The point I'm saying is that we can start taking precautions now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we all start sleeping in shifts every day. That might be a bit much. But more than that, paying more attention to our surroundings. Always walking around in pairs. Things like that.
Yeah, that's... Sleeping in shifts, that's a good idea. I mean, no!
She
not sleeping in shifts, but having somebody watch guard. It's a good idea.
She shrugs a bit. I want to make an insight check. Do you look like you really want to suggest that? Well, let me make...
Oh, no. Ross is full on thinking, you know.
Sleeping in shifts?
Yup. Having some kind of guard something.
She'll shrug a bit and she'll say, well, it was a rather out there thought, but we could do so. I mean, there are a lot of us.
Ross's eyes have kind of glazed over and she's like doing calculations and thinking about stuff and not even listening or hearing what you said. She's gone. Yeah. You lost her.
I mean, Freya understands. Different type of intellect, but understands. She's the wordy kind. She'll just kind of shrug again and look back over to the other two while waiting for you to come back to your senses.
About how long is it before Shala actually like calms down?
Oh, just a few minutes.
Okay. At that point, Amelia would, who's been just completely silent this entire time, would stand up and go over to her and ask, Are you sure it was only 3 contracts?
Yes. I don't know the details of who placed it, but they had your names, your descriptions. I don't know who Arlen is, but she was a half-elf, blonde hair, tall, had a false leg.
Moira chuckles. Yes, we know.
And I hope she's safe.
She is. Trust me.
Do you know how much they were aware of us before this? Did you have any information that you were given beforehand, or just names and faces?
I was told that Mary had a son, had a late husband. She owned an orphanage that was burned down. Husband was killed. I know that you had a sister. Was also, well, that you have a mother. As far as Ross is concerned, she had a brother who was killed. And she kind of like hesitates for a second and thinks. And a Shawanti, sweetheart. She like glances at Ross for just a second and then just kind of like has that no. And looks back. Whoever put the contract on you knew your pasts.
Real quick, Squee, when did she say that these contracts were put in?
About a week before you met her at the banquet.
I didn't meet her.
Well, yes, you did.
Yeah, before the party met her.
Alright, so this was like well after Amelia had taken off, is that right?
Yes, it was after.
Okay.
The banquet was like about so timeline wise, the banquet was about 2-3 weeks after the death of
Otto.
Oh my god, thank you, Otto.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, in that case, it doesn't make sense that it would be Gadrian because he purposefully left Amelia and Weary alive, but at the same time, it was put out that a Ross was alive and also still an elf, and there was no mention of Otto. I'm trying to piece together clues, and my brain's just kind of burning rubber.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
I can tell you that my family, whoever can hire them, are very rich or very powerful.
Freya will kind of perk up a bit, looking over to Shala, and she'll ask, I also wanted to question, how many of them are there? It's a family, so I assume if it's all biological, there can't be that many.
I have 2 brothers, an older sister, and my mother. I would have been the 5th.
You had mentioned to me once that one of your siblings was younger than you. Is that correct?
Yes, well, she cannot. My little sister was born different. She's not entirely. She has trouble understanding things. She's a lot like a little child and has never gotten past that point. My family keeps her for appearance's sake. They're far too famous to get rid of a child without people asking questions, but I've heard them talking before. If they could do it, they would. But you have nothing to fear from her.
It's not from her, child. It's for her.
I know. I'm sorry, Murray. I'm just not used to people thinking like that.
There's one other thing. Does Well, do members of your family typically carry a specific insignia or something around? Something very unique to your lineage?
Shala will look at Rhea. There are rings that my family has that are used as special markers. They act as a sign that anyone that wears the ring is immune from my contract. My family will accept no contracts on them. It's a way for our family to reward those that have earned it.
And would this ring be worn by members of the family?
No.
Hmm.
Well, I wear one, but she looks at Rhea again. Looks back. That's for a different reason.
She nods and says, so, no specific way or item to identify them with.
There are many powerful assassins make powerful enemies. My family has a habit of making scrying or other magical forms of tracking as difficult as possible. There are many people out there that would love to see the end of the Valentine. Well, I should be more specific. It's very rare that the Valentines themselves are known for what they are. The fact that Archminos knew them, again, is a testament to his power. Most people only know that their family was assassinated and will spend enormous sums of money trying to find their killers. My family has been in this, if you want to call it business, for 36 generations.
Wow.
Yes. They know a thing or two about making themselves hard to find.
Freya frowns a bit, but she says, well, hard to find. But I doubt they anticipated us to have such information over them. No one knows them like you, which should make, for my spells, the purpose much easier. It would mean a lot of talking, however, between the two of us.
I would like that, Freya. I'm sorry, I don't have the right to say, but there's a lot of things I would like to talk to you about that have nothing to do with my family.
She looks a little bit confused. Like I'd say she's probably raising an eyebrow a bit. She says, I don't mind. I think we'll have the time. And besides, I feel as if talking only about your family would trouble you. But maybe some simple descriptions, things along those lines. Things we can save for later.
And as you say that, you hear a loud knock on the door downstairs. Guys, so we are getting towards the end of the session, and there is something really important I would like to do with you guys. Are you okay as a group handling downtime either at the start of next session or out of session?
Sure.
Either works for me.
Yeah, downtime probably at the start because there is something that I want to do, but it's going to be a fairly simple explanation.
Okay. So we'll say during this conversation, there's a loud knock on the warehouse door down below. And you hear Cressida's voice rise.
As soon as she hears it, Miri will start for the door.
You get down to the door, and
can I just look over the edge and see who it is?
Yeah, it's Cressida.
Okay.
Opens the door, and Cressida gives a flourishing bow. The savior of Corvosa. Such a pleasure to meet you. And by the way, she's stepping around some fruit baskets that have been left.
Do take those to the station, won't you?
Yes, I gotta imagine you have.
Guards are recovering.
I do hope they're not being too much of a trouble for you. Do you mind if I come in? I have something very important to discuss with all of you. And you notice that Cressida has a person by her side that you haven't seen before. They're wearing reddish robes.
Of course.
Thank you.
Would either of you care for tea?
Oh, no, thank you. I think this conversation would be held best away from the little ones.
Well, aren't you in luck that this is on the tail end of another conversation?
Oh.
Do come inside.
Thank you. And she'll motion her friend to come in. This is Theodore, by the way. He is on loan to the Crimson Guard for the time being. A wizard of some repute.
Pleasure to meet you.
And you as well. I've heard a great deal from Cressida. Thank you for your efforts.
If you would come inside and upstairs, please.
And she'll follow you upstairs to see everyone on the roof, and she'll raise an eyebrow, wondering why everyone's on the roof.
Freya waves.
She'll wave back and she'll say, "So,
there's too many kids running around downstairs. It's hard to think for a minute. Much less discuss prose or ideas."
I honestly must say I wouldn't really know, but I'll take your word for it. I came for a few reasons, actually. And as she does this, the gentleman in the red robes begins casting a ritual spell. And she goes, "This is my friend Theodore. He's going to ensure that we are not listened to by magical means, if you don't mind."
By all means.
And
sure.
Then, 10 minutes pass in idle conversation. Well, actually, while he's doing his thing, they talk about how well the cure is progressing and how Cressida has finally gotten some sleep. She looks much better, by the way. And once he is done with the ritual, she'll say, "So, first things first, I suppose. How are you all enjoying your newfound fame?"
I'm not, but thank you.
Is there any way to take it back? Amelia says, just with a very uncomfortable look.
Unfortunately, no, and I'm afraid I must apologize. It was I who let the cat out of the bag, I guess you might say. But, she holds up her hands. I had a very good reason.
And that was?
Well, you were there. You saw more than I did. The Queen's physicians spreading the plague, the Grey Maidens hindering us at every opportunity. It's clear that she was a part of it, if not the perpetrator of it itself. Queen Iosa, for whatever reason, has betrayed her people. Which makes you a very nasty threat. A threat that someone with a queen's skill could get rid of fairly easily, unless you're too popular. You see, you may have noticed that the public opinion of our good queen has risen of late, largely helped by her own people. But it would look very poor if the saviors of Corvosa were to suddenly disappear one night, would it not?
That's actually an excellent plan. I wish I would have thought of it myself.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad you agree. I thought it was the best way not only to protect you, but the orphanage. After all, no one will dare lay a hand on the orphanage now. But
Amelia's expression does not change.
She goes, but that leads me to my next point. Now that things are calming down and the city is starting to heal, I would like to get Jolistina out of my cells, and I think that getting you all out of the city for a little while would be a good thing. Heroes are better talked about, not seen, in my opinion, until the time is right. So, I'm hoping the next few days you will escort your prisoner to Ria's family. Ria, I do hope they will be ready to receive her.
I'm sure they will be. I will send a letter, let them know.
Thank you. And yes.
Could we delay this any at all?
I'm
not sure right now. Oh, man.
Do you have something more pressing, Ross?
No, I just would really rather not be out in the middle of nowhere right now.
Moiri will turn to Shala and say, is there something you wish to share with Cressida, or is this something that you would prefer to keep?
I'd rather not. But I can say that what we discussed earlier cannot come to pass quickly. They are very careful. After all, well, I already explained what lengths they go through. They would not move hastily, and they do not have the information they need yet. They will move eventually, with or without it, but they are not in a rush. And Cressida's like,
gives us some time.
Okay, well that's not a weird or ominous thing to say at all. I do hope that everything is well, but I believe that you made a promise, or more specifically, I made a command, that you would be taking Jolistina, and honestly, especially after what I'm about to tell you next, I truly need you out of the city for a while, just until things calm down. And I can think of no one better to take Jolistina. Which leads me to my last piece of news. And she pulls out from under her breastplate several very ornately sealed and signed envelopes and begins passing them out. You all have been cordially invited. You are to be the guests of honor at a ceremony that will take place tomorrow afternoon. Queen Iosa is throwing a ceremony for the whole city in which she will honor the saviors of Corvosa.
There's just this look of distaste from Freya. She's just kind of staring down at the ground like, why?
No, thank you.
As I said, public opinion of the Queen is on the rise. Public opinion of you is high as well. Queen Iosa is going to use this as an opportunity to draw the two together. And then her face gets more serious. I understand. The last thing I want to do is meet her face to face. Oh, yes, I am being honored too for the Crimson Guard's efforts. But look at it this way. In 300 years, no one has ever refused a summons from the Queen or from any monarch. The public think highly of you, but if you refuse that, they will turn against you. You will look like you snubbed the queen in her generosity. Please. This city has been dealt a crippling wound. Everyone knows someone that died. They need time to heal. They need stability. If the heroes of Korvosa snub the queen, and that tears the city apart, or even worse, if they turn against you, would you deliver them all into her hands?
You make an excellent point. So,
it's not the first thing like this I've been to, but definitely the most distasteful one.
For me, no. For Korvosa, I beg you. Dress up. Stand on that platform. Endure her false praises. Smile. Know that her time will come.
You need not beg, child.
Just... I love how impulsive you can all be. But if anything happens tomorrow at that ceremony, it could be disastrous. Now is a time for patience.
Under her breath, Amelia goes, "Yes, like the last time we met the queen."
Well, I must be off, Theodore. Thank you. And Theodore dispels the spell. Expect to see you all looking nice and sharp. Try and dress like Shala. She always looks the part. And she starts heading back down.
Freya's just staring down at the ground in disappointment. Like, no.
Mary will call after her, take some food with you.
I'll get the fruit baskets. You hear like called up after you.
Freya very slowly like turns to Ross. Very slowly. And she just says, "Where are we going to get those clothes? My. One day's notice, too. I'm not prepared for this."
I don't think any of us are.
I don't know. As a member of the church, Mary has formal robes ready. I don't know what y'all are doing.
I mean, didn't we just have to get formal clothes at the start of this book?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys did.
Yeah, Amelia and Freya ain't got jack shit.
Ria's got her formal paladin attire.
And
Freya, this is just another day for Shala.
Formal,
yeah,
yes.
It is another day for Shala, but I think Freya just assumes that Ross doesn't own anything like that, because that's the way Ross acts.
So, normally...
No, Ross has her carpet outfit.
I normally do not like to rush things along, but I would like to do this before the session ends because, well, trust me, you'll all see. But do you guys have anything you would like to discuss before tomorrow? First things first, I should ask, are you all going?
Yeah. Fucking after that speech.
Yeah.
Well, I understand, but you know, player choice. I do like to keep it as best I can. Then I've got a well, quite a scene in store for you guys. If you will indulge me.
Go for it.
Yippee.
Weary will ask Majenko to come with and just keep an eye on things from above.
Of course.
Oh, I'm gonna summon a dog.
Okay.
I've been wanting to use this spell for forever. Since we're going to be leaving the city, might as well have something ready.
How long does the spell last? Or just
it's
forever?
Until I dispel it.
Oh, wow. What kind of dog? Corgi?
Is a Mastiff.
The deadly Corgi.
Deadly Corgi.
I fucking knew it was going to be a Mastiff. God damn it.
Well, I mean, that's what's listed on there.
Oh, please. I'll let you be more flavored if you want.
No, I know, but like, I like Mastiffs.
Sure.
Savage
right?
Pomeranian.
Yeah.
Savage Pomeranian. A Chihuahua.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
So, you all, Freya and Amelia, muddle through somehow with the clothes. Probably not as nice as everyone else's, but you know.
Like, the nicest thing that Amelia has is the newest traveling clothes that she has, and they're definitely traveling clothes.
Yeah, they'll do.
Yeah.
I guess Freya has her school uniforms. Those are actually pretty formal.
Yeah. She has her school uniform, but it's like, I guess, yeah.
So, the next morning, you all find yourselves on a stage. Very similar to a same area, same square where you've been once before to rescue Amelia's sister, but this time, instead of the gallows, there is... do you remember where the queen sat on that map?
Yes.
Yes,
she had like a raised platform.
A raised platform, correct. You were on that raised platform. And the entire courtyard is packed with people from Corvosa. On the platform, you see Cressida, dressed in ceremonial, crimson armor. Another gentleman, who most of you would know as Marcus Indrin. Marcus Indrin is the leader of the Sable Company. Sable Company is not someone that you've had too many dealings with, but they are one of the protective forces of Corvosa. They are knights that ride on hippogriffs. Marcus Indrin, none of you have ever really met him, but you know of him. He's the leader of the Sable Company, sorry. Several gray maidens. And after a time, followed by, flanked on either side of people in very regal red robes, you see Queen Iosa. She is dressed in a splendid crimson red gown. Her hair partly done up, partly hanging loose, around a golden necklace and golden earrings. And on her head sits a crown that you've never seen before, with spikes jutting upwards at an angle, and a red ruby set in the center. She approaches and looks at each of you in turn, smiling, nodding. How do each of you return the smile?
Mary doesn't have, like, the facial structure to return it, so she will bow.
Makes sense.
Maria was told to seem happy, so she'll seem happy.
Gotcha.
I'm going to use my important feature to give me a 17 on a performance check.
Gotcha.
So I got a 20 for a performance check to smile nice and bright.
Okay. Aras?
Aras is relying on a dwarven reputation to just get by with the faintest
grunt
of yeah.
Gotcha.
Like slightest upturn that she thinks she could possibly get away with, mostly a straight line.
All right. This is one of those rare times, ladies and gents, that I ask you to, before you, if you choose to make any actions or movements, to let me play out a scene first. Okay?
Okay.
Because I have some of that juicy exposition.
In case you were wondering about Amelia's reaction, Squee.
Sorry, I thought you already told me you were like stared at. I must have completely imagined that. I'm sorry, what is your reaction?
There's a video on exactly how she would smile.
Oh.
Just awkward.
Oh, that's amazing. The white person smile. Nice.
Like, no disrespect, she's just that awkward. Like,
yeah. Queen Iosa turns to the gathered crowd, and a hush falls, and she says, "Good Corvosans." You can tell that her voice is magically amplified. "I bid you all welcome in this dark time. I know that all of you have lost. That while the emergency is over, there is still much healing to be done. When my husband died and I took the throne, I know that many of you were unsure. Viniosa is Chiliaxan, they said. She is not one of us. In the weeks, in Corvosa's darkest hour, I found a strength in you that I had never seen before. Corvosans, all, you had faced fate worse than death. You have survived it. And by seeing your strength, I found strength of my own. Tried to call myself your queen. And you have returned that pride. I am not responsible for the cure of the blood veil. Behind me are your saviors. Aras, the dwarf. Freya, the mage. Miri. Miri, do you have a last name? Or is it just Miri? It's Miri Corvosa, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be.
I think
You're
so.
muted, Bloom.
Yeah. She would just say, in that case, she would just say, Miri, the Kendall.
Oh, thanks.
Rhea, the paladin. Your order has ever been an ally to us. Shala, member of the lovely Valentines. Bard, yes, but savior as well. They deserve your thanks, not me. I am but the humble monarch who is proud to stand beside them. And you hear in the crowd sympathetic murmurs, sounds of, "Oh, Queen." And she lets it play on for a while, and then raises her hands. But as I said, we owe them a great debt. But it is up to us, all of us, to heal. And I am here today to help that take place. The Crimson Guard, Cressida, their field marshal, they all behaved admirably. And without them, I could not imagine how the city would have survived. But in their efforts, in their sacrifice, they have lost a lot. And are no longer able to protect the city as they once did. So, in order to help keep peace, I am transferring the authority of the defending of the city and the policing of the populace to the Grey Maidens, under the command of Marlowe, the Cadal, my brave and loyal leader. And your son, Muri, steps up and nods. Cressida, you can see she's doing her best to keep a straight face, but she is has a clenched fist, shaking. And you, Marcus Indrin, and your Sable Company, you did not help us during the plague. You were incompetent, inadequate, and as such, I am disbanding the Sable Company and relieving you of your command. Step forward. Hand me your badge. As Indrin does so, you see that he trembles. He reaches for his badge, but instead of handing it over, he throws it at the queen, striking her cheek. Everyone, even the queen, yourselves, are shocked for a moment at such a move. In that moment, he bellows, "Your shameful reign ends now! Korvosa will be free again!" And he pulls a hand crossbow, pulls the trigger, and an arrow strikes Quiniosa in the temple. You see her head loll to the side, but she does not fall. With incredible speed, before anyone can react, she regains her composure, yanks the arrow from her skull, blood dripping from the wound, and grabs Marcus by the jaw, picks him up with one hand, and shoves the arrow through his chin into his cheek, and then tosses him crumpled to the floor. She turns to the audience. This shall be the fate of all enemies of Korvosa. We must stand together. We are not poor or downtrodden. We are strong. We are Korvosans. And the courtyard erupts. Some in cheers, some in confusion, some in shrieks of terror. The mages gather to Quiniosa's side and put hands on her. She turns to each of you, her eyes glowing green. She stares directly at Aras. And Aras, in your mind, you hear, "Somehow, some way, I promise you, you will pay for the death of my son." And Quiniosa and the mages teleport away. End of Book 2.
I do want to mention, just to make her look bad, Freya would have expended a use of her portent feature to make her mess up when she tried to grab Marcus.
Oh.
Which might have saved his life. So.
Oh, he's not dead.
Oh.
Yeah. It
she
went through
done anyway to make.
Gotcha. In fact, that might have actually been what saved his life. The arrow went through his cheek instead of through his skull.
Yeah. She would have done that to make it worse. Yeah. So she would have had a natural 7 on her roll.
Makes sense. No, I appreciate that. So it did save his life. He would be carried off by Grey Maidens as Grey Maidens start to somewhat sternly put order back in the audience. But the sounds of the audience are more confusion than outrage. And the rest of you are left standing on that platform. And we'll end that session there. We'll pick up there next session. And
well, damn, if we're getting revenge for kids, whoever this is better get in the fucking line.
Yeah, gee, I wonder who had a son that was killed recently.
I have no idea.
I'm weary.
How many sons has Ross killed?
Wait, what? Was I here for this?
No,
it's Gadrian.
Yeah, it's Gadrian.
Oh.
Gadrian is either possessing or transforming.
Or is it?
Or
so,
fucking, no.
Or has Aras killed lots of sons in her youth?
Well, there was a cutscene not too long ago where Squeak kind of did something similar, but we weren't even present for it, where I
That
believe
was
it was
at the end of book
Gadrian.
1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the end of book 1, it was Gadrian speaking to the queen. Yes, or was it
And then
Rolf?
choking the life out of the
Rolf.
queen. Rolf choking the life out of the queen.
It's Rolf.
Yep.
And now Gadrian's like, I'll continue his work.
Okay.
I also want to mention.
Oh
Freya
yeah,
didn't
it's like way
immediately.
fucked up.
Freya didn't immediately mention the stuff about like the ritual and all that Rolf was doing, like the like huge emergence of magical energy when she entered the room. But I'm certain she probably mentioned it to Ross or someone while working with them to make the cure, because she just was waiting. But I wasn't here. I had to step away for something. I wanted to mention it, but
No, that's fine.
There you guys go. There's a nice picture for you.
Oh, that's lovely.
yeah, that's what it was.
So, I mean, things aren't too bad. She just took an arrow to the brain.
You know.
She who is definitely not Gadrian, wink.
And can you believe the module wanted Gadrian gone in the first session?
It wanted what?
The module asked for, like, basically, he was supposed to die in the first session. What a waste of potential.
Yep.
Wait, Rolf was?
No,
No,
Gadrian.
No, Gadrian.
He was supposed to be in the very first area and just die.
Mm-hmm. The man that brought everyone together, that is a part of everyone's past, dead in the first session. Tisk, tisk.
Why do that when we can make him the main bag figure?
What?
Bro,
Who said that? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
You call him the main bad guy. But number one bad guy?
Quinios is just a fall
streaming?
guy. Yeah, we're about to finish.
Oh.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us next week where we're not starting book 3 just yet. We're gonna have some downtime. We're gonna have a little side adventure to maybe keep things a little lighter, because let's be fair, and this session has certainly not been any exception. Things have been kind of dark lately.
Yes, because what's lighter than transporting a psychopath?
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
We'll see you guys next week. Ta-ta.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.